Oh,
Mm-hmm.
we're live. Nice.
Yeah. Ooh.
It's so tough finding any hardcore music in Vermont.
It's not a very hardcore state. Not a very hardcore state.
I'm trying to find like heavy metal fish covers
Okay. Not
just to
even
see
any of that.
yeah, just to see if there's something like
I
at
don't think
least heavy for 2020 hardcore from Vermont.
I don't think any bands have the endurance to do a Fish song.
I
I
found a
think
picture of Bernie Sanders moshing.
nice. Um
That's about the most hardcore we're gonna get.
yeah. Um yeah, I don't know. I guess we're not gonna have what are like is there like a Budweiser of bands that we could throw on? Like
It's like every New England hardcore band just like throw it on there. Yeah,
up,
they're
Andy
from
man.
they're from
Yeah.
there.
Let's see the best musical artists from Vermont. That Noah Kahan. That's very popular now.
Oh, really? I was gonna
Yeah.
say that when I looked it up, it was only fish.
Fish, Lane Gibson. Oh God, it's just the turdiest of turds.
It's so
Grace
bad.
Potter and the Nocturnals. The fifth. All right, so Fish is the second most popular. Well, second ranked on this ranker list. They're number
Okay.
two. Number five is Trey Anastasio.
Who is
It's
the
just Fish.
singer?
He's Fish. That's
It's just
Fish.
fish
Yeah.
again. Yes.
Yeah.
It's so much fish. If you just put in like best
Dude,
bands from Vermont and just look at all the pictures of them, they all look like they're just
dude,
hippie bands.
it's all every band is indie, folk rock, or bluegrass.
Yeah, check this band, man. This is this it was co-founded in 1997 by Fish drummer, but they're called Pork Tornado.
Nice.
Such a great name. I mean, that's the type of name that like a hippie band would have.
Yes. And that's essentially me at the turn when I'm golfing. I go into the clubhouse and it's a pork tornado the way I'm throwing down dogs.
You turn the corner, it's all dogs. It's all dogs
No,
after that ninth hole.
number 22, Dan, on the ranked artist from Vermont, none other than Mr. Aaron Lewis.
Oh, Aaron Lewis from
Yeah.
Stained.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Vermont.
Yeah.
Damn.
So far away.
I was just thinking because he's so like rigidly like right wing.
Yeah.
Comes from Vermont, like the land of Bernie Sanders.
Who is Drowning Man? Mathcore, emo, screamo.
You know what? It sounds like that's gonna be the only thing we got.
Oh, I got one up here. Oh, JoJo's from Vermont?
Jojo Siwa,
No, not old
Casey and Jojo.
no, not Casey and
All
JoJo.
my life, pray
Uh
for someone like you.
white woman R&B pop hip hop. I
Ooh,
remember the name. Who's Dispatch? Do you know who Dispatch is, Dan?
yeah, I know Dispatches. They were like they were like that. They were like those bands that came out when we were in college that all the flip flop wearing people listened to. Who was that guy that
What
everyone
happened?
liked? I don't know what happened.
Oh,
Did
why
you
are we
lose
getting
me?
Corolla? No. Oh, it's right here.
What
How
happened?
do I get rid of this? A Hyundai Elantra commercial came on, and
Oh,
I didn't
okay.
know where it was. You can't hear it. I could hear it.
That's
Um,
good. No one else could hear it.
let's see.
I think Drowning Man's like the closest thing we got. Like, what do we play from Drowning Man?
Wait, this is Dispatch?
Yeah, you're gonna know
He was the
Dispatch.
decorated general with the heart of gold.
Who's that guy that sounds
To
like
all the
this? Who always
stories he
does stuff?
told.
Jack Johnson?
That's it. Yeah. Remember when we went to college, like that Jack Johnson like thing was so big. Like you
Oh,
remember like puka shell necklaces came back
yeah.
briefly?
Yeah, it was like him, like Asher Roth.
Yeah, exactly. Dispatch was one of them.
Yeah, because they were listed as ska punk rock folk music, and that
Oh.
is not OAR. You're right. Yeah.
OAR. Remember OAR?
Always confused Dispatch with Mumford and Sons. Really?
I mean, Mumford & Sons is like, what would they call that? Stomp clap? Remember stomp
Yes.
clap,
Yeah.
stomp clap,
Yeah. A
stomp
lot,
clap,
lot of
stomp stomp.
hey-os and stuff.
Yeah, a lot of stomp clap.
Yeah.
I love describing bands by the sounds of their music, like clubbing music is Boots and Cats. Yeah, like Boots and
Boots and Cats. Yeah.
Boots and Cats, stomp clap. I love those. That's exactly how I sound when I'm in like the recording studio talking about drums. I'm like, yeah, it's gonna be like a stomp clap, stomp, stomp clap.
All right, let's see. Drowning Man.
Yeah, let's hear it.
What is They're not. I don't even think they're on Apple Music.
Don't worry, they're on Bandcamp.
Oh, wait, hold on.
All right, looks like we got it. And it sounds like I'm going to be listening to Drowning Man after this episode.
All right, Vermont.
They were only around till 2005, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Drowning Man. This is what I'm listening to later.
There are like 8 lines of lyrics, and I mean it's a 2.5 minute song. 2.5 minute song with let's see, about 10 lines of lyrics, Dan.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's hardcore. Okay, well, we found in our pre-show we found Vermont hardcore, which is awesome
and good for us, Dan.
Yeah, good for us. I mean, I'm ready with my facts about Vermont. Ooh, thank you.
I knew I had that button somewhere.
We've got facts about our brewery all lined up. This could be a good episode.
Yeah.
I mean, it's gonna be heavy. I think Vermont's gonna be highly
heavy
regarded
for a lot of reasons, Dan.
Oh, it's gonna be I can't believe you bought 19.2 ounces of this. You're staring down the barrel of a
so far away
of a groggy morning, Aaron Lewis. Now that we're here,
we're here, so far away. It's gonna be me at my desk tomorrow.
Oh, man. All right, let's get this party started.
Let us get this thing going. Boop.
Oh, sorry, I was still getting into the drums there for a second.
It's a good it's a good air drumming song, Dan.
It is, I gotta say. I was getting into it. I was like,
little boots and cats,
little stomp clap, boots, cats.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the greatest podcast to exist in the history of all-time podcasts. We're back. We're back in the saddle. We're back on the old trail.
Oh yeah, we're back on tour, guys. We're back on tour.
We are back on tour. I am your host, the crispiest of boys, the crowd killer of Crispies, Tom.
And I'm your other host, the Hot Master General, the Royers Ford Rattlesnake.
And Daniel.
Oh hell yeah, it's Dan.
Oh hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
We did an extensive search for this.
If you joined us, pre-recording on the stream.
The pre-record stream was dedicated in even before the pre-record, even before we got on the stream, we were in search of a Vermont hardcore band.
This was a chore. I mean, we both Googled Vermont bands or just Vermont music, and I mean, there was just fish.
It's exactly what you would expect.
It is. Yeah, exactly. If I were to think Vermont, it's Bernie Sanders, fish, and then maple syrup.
I mean, it's the if you go down the list of like, I found like a ranked list of bands from Vermont, and it's all like the style is all just bluegrass, folk, jam band. It's all
And
just
they all feature
bullshit.
members of Fish. So they're just subsidiaries of Fish.
Yeah. Fish is just like they're like the Andy Reid coaching tree of music in Vermont.
It's the Kevin Bacon of Vermont music right there.
Yeah. But we did find one regardless.
And I gotta say, Tom,
Sounds pretty awesome.
yeah, listen to
Kind of
this. They kind of rip. I think it's going in the gym mix for tomorrow.
all right, everybody. We are the best friends podcast in the world, and we are starting right now.
Dude, Drowning Man rips.
Yeah, the late 90s, early 2000s in Vermont were kind of cool, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, they hit that, like, they've got that sound like that Every Time I Die, Norma Jean, like that early 2000, like right as we were like getting out of high school, like that. It was like almost metalcore, but it was just like nuts. Like
It was we moved from butt rock, what is now known as butt rock, and into this. We're like, ooh, what is this in my
it was like Norma Jean, Every Time I Die. I would say like so
Parkway
many.
Drive?
Yeah, a little Parkway. I'd say, I'm trying to think of like some other bands from like the New England area that kind of had that sound. Like oh shit, they did the album Jane Doe.
Fish.
Converge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was Fish. No, like they all kind of like Converge kind of sound like that a little bit too. Just crazy hardcore with like awesome breakdowns. And hey, we got Drowning Man. Thank you, Vermont.
Yes, we got Drowning Man. We found him. Yeah. All right, everybody. We are going to do some housekeeping here, guys. You know the deal. If you're new to the podcast, we'll go through this. If you're familiar with the podcast, you already know this. Follow, rate, review. Give us a follow on all major podcast platforms. Give us a rating. Dan, what is that rating?
That's a 5-star party, baby.
And shoot us a review. It's honestly the best way to take a couple minutes out of your day. We do this for free. Let us know how you like the podcast. You know who does let us know how they like the podcast? It's the bit.
It is
Stevie Johansson.
Do you have the comments for this week?
I do. So Stevie likes to leave a comment on our Spotify feed. You can go on to Spotify, find us on there, and you can leave comments on each episode.
Feel free to
nice
leave us
thing
some
to do.
comments, guys.
Yeah, I actually kind of like that more than the reviews. I'll just leave it at that.
It's got a YouTube feel to it when you can comment on YouTube videos and stuff.
Yeah, and they're very specific to each episode.
Yeah.
The old bit commented on last week's episode. The name of the holiday show, Friends of the Best Friends. Referencing our idea to have a little holiday beer share get together.
Oh, yeah.
The barrel age get together. Where we all die a little bit on the inside.
Yeah. The barrel aged best friends.
Yeah, that's
BABBF.
That sounded like a great idea after tying a few on last week.
It did.
I'm sure it might seem like a good idea at the end of this episode. Who knows? Killer references this episode includes, but are not limited to, MTV Spring Break, Calico Jack, the goated Jacob's Best Beer, and because I couldn't wait for the feed and watch the YouTube stream, April in the D. Detroiters is on Netflix. Please Google Bottle Rocket Baseball.
Yes. Yeah, dude. Bottle Rocket Baseball is awesome. You got to watch Detroiters. I knew somebody was going to get the reference.
Yeah, Detroiters is awesome.
Yeah,
it's
April in the D.
Yeah, it's like it was like I think you should leave, but kind of maybe a little bit better.
It was on MTV, wasn't it?
It was on Comedy Central.
Oh, it was on Comedy Central. That was
Same thing. It's basically the same thing. But if you do want to support us monetarily, there is 2 ways to do it. You can go to our Instagram bio at Best Friends Pod, and you can go into the link in our bio. There's a listener support section. You go there and donate some money. If you want the best way to support us monetarily, that is Daniel.
That is Sub with Prime.
If you have an Amazon Prime account and you want to link it to your twitch.tv account, and you can go to our page, twitch.tv/bestfriendspod. You can subscribe to our show for a couple months free, get some ad-free viewing. Twitch is honestly the best way to view the podcast.
That's where we get all the best viewers.
Yeah.
Right there.
Not to alienate our longtime viewers, but it's our humble opinion that Twitch is the best viewing experience.
Andy's keeping YouTube strong, man.
Yeah, Andy's just punching the screen right now.
He's the only
YouTube.
He's the only red like rectangle comes through on
that. And as always, we are part of the Hopped Up Network. It's very rare that we loop through the lo-fi.
I know
we're back to the beginning.
Bringing it back, guys.
As always, we're part of the Hopped Up Network. Hopped Up Network is an ever-growing group of independent craft beer podcasts, much like our own. If you like our podcast, you might like some of the others on the network. Check them out, www.hoppedupnetwork.com. Instagram at Hopped Up Network.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So,
YouTube strong.
We are. He's got a bracelet and everything.
Yep.
What's up? Dylan is here. What's up, Dylan? We're bringing it back. We finally made our way back into Old Glory.
We're back on tour, guys. We are heading back out on the road, seeing this great country of ours through beer.
Yeah, I mean, we had this state teed up, and it was like we can't just brush by this. It's just this integral part of this journey.
Discussions had to be made before jumping into Vermont. I mean, Vermont is and it is pretty geographic to like our area, but like integral in craft beer for us.
Yeah. So let's kick it off with this, the way we always do.
I just got 3 things to say. God bless our troops. God bless America. And gentlemen, start your engine!
Oh man,
I've been looking forward to that all day, Dan.
You've had an itchy soundboard finger for that one.
Yeah. So we are back with our Drinking Across Old Glory. If you are new to the podcast, we went through the original 13 states, and we picked a beer from each state, featured it, talked a little bit about the state, and now once we've got through the original 13 colonies, we're going to scatter these here and there. But we spent 3 months, Dan, drinking across Old Glory.
Yeah, 3 months. I mean, my liver took it pretty tough.
It'll never be the same.
Yeah, I gotta say, like going back to Budweiser, just terrible beer from Georgia. I'll keep saying it until Georgia proves me wrong, but the worst beer that we have on the podcast.
Yeah, I mean, you're gonna put Budweiser over that, sure.
I mean, I would rather drink a truck of Budweiser before I drink anything from Georgia so far.
we had a bad batch of Sweetwater. Sweetwater 420 is not a terrible beer. Terrapin makes good beer. You can find some decent stuff in Georgia. We just didn't. We got the short end of the straw on that.
I'm taking a Tom like just hard stance on just hating them until they prove me wrong. I'm going the imprint direction. I'm going
Oh,
Tom's
okay.
imprint direction where I just
Gotcha, okay.
hate
You hate them
Vermont,
now. Yeah.
or I hate Georgia until they can prove me wrong.
I thought you were gonna go with the who was the general who just went through and burnt down everything?
Oh yeah, God, we were talking about that.
Yeah. Oh man, it's not Custer. It was Cornwallis?
I want to say it was Sherman.
Sherman? Could be.
Yeah,
Yeah, just they won the war and he was like, yeah, but let's have some fun on the way home.
yeah. Here we go.
Yeah, Dan's just going scorched earth.
General William Tecumseh Sherman.
There you go.
Yeah, I was like, it was Sherman. I knew. Yeah, William Tecumseh Sherman just led Union forces in the American Civil War. They burned Atlanta. They burned their way across the South to Atlanta.
Yeah, yeah. It'll happen. So yeah, we're in Vermont now. And like Dan mentioned, it was a debate. It was a
There was a
debate.
ton. There was a ton to do.
Yeah, who do we feature? Who is representative of Vermont? And some people will disagree with us. I'm sure there's a lot of fans of other Vermont beers.
And I'm sure there's every hype brewery guy is going to be out there with a 5-panel hat just saying like, well, actually, did you guys talk about foam? Did you guys talk about Burlington Beer Company? Did you guys mention Frost at all? No. We're going back to our roots.
Yeah, this is I mean, yeah, there were so many like Alchemist.
Alchemist would have been my second choice if we didn't do this.
Yeah, we could have went Magic Hat is another one.
Yeah, and
There's
that's
an
good.
Old
That's
Guard.
even like, yeah, that's like old. That's like in our formidable years right there.
Yeah, and I have a list of craft breweries from Vermont. We even talked about Von Trapp, right?
Yeah,
And
we've already done them. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah, Hill Farmstead. There's just so many. But we went with the standard, what we think is the best representative of beer from Vermont.
I would say it in our opinion, very just it was indicative in the way that we were going to pursue craft beer.
Yeah.
Lawson's kind of paved that way for us.
Yeah. So we went with Sip of Sunshine by Lawson's Finest Liquids.
Oh, baby.
Oh, Dan Brown.
Hold on. Tom, hold on. Let's go back to that. Bring that guy back up there.
Yeah, look at that. It's hold on.
Can't really
I'll
get it.
Hold on. I'll do this. Let me flip my virtual background off for a second.
Yeah, because before we dive into the description of this beer, you have to see what Tom is rocking for this episode.
Yeah. Look at that. It's the size of my head.
That can is huge.
Yeah. Let's get a crack and a pour, and I can talk about my my journey into getting a stovepipe of Lawson's here.
And then we'll dive into the beer itself. Let's go.
All right. 3, 2, 1. All right. Oh boy. That was right on the old schnoz there.
Oh, baby.
The olfactory is going crazy for this beer.
This is just it's a classic hazy. Classic hazy. It's tough to get good color in here, but like
a caramely color.
You're getting a nice it's like a nice just like amber.
It's almost like a West Coast kind of look to it.
It's got this West Coast like pininess, but like with this like tropical sweetness in there too, like the old guard of New England IPAs.
Yeah. All right, Daniel, Sancha,
cheers. Oh,
that's just a well-rounded beer, Dan.
It was crazy. And and I was thinking about this when I bought the 4-pack. Going up to Vermont and snowboarding, like a lot of the resorts just sell cans of Lawson Sip of Sunshine. And I didn't realize that I was just knocking back 8% 16-ounce cans at the bottom of the ski resort.
Yeah, it's
Like when I'm drinking it, I'm like, man, this beer rules. And like, I'm not even feeling it really. And I was kicking back these 8ers.
yeah, it's an easy drinking beer.
Absolutely.
It's very, like you said, it's almost like I can imagine this coming out as like one of like the first like New England IPAs. It's a very like West Coast style IPA. It's got that like piney resinous to it.
Yeah. It's got like a juice that
Yeah.
that West Coast dry factor doesn't have.
Mhm.
Like it's got a juice like bomb in addition to that. Like
Yeah, it's got a nice like
ingredients.
citrusy undertone to it.
It's got a nice citrusy afterbirth on it.
There you go. All right, so let's get this Untapped back up here.
Yeah, let's
So
get a description out of the way here.
this lupulin laden India Pale Ale is packed with juicy tropical fruit character, bright floral aromas, and delectable layers of hop flavor. Pour mindfully, inhale deeply, and enjoy a tropical vacation in a glass. Always store cold and enjoy fresh and stay cool.
Lawson's, you got it.
Which it reminds me of I saw a tweet somebody put out. I guess is it still called a tweet since it's X, it's not Twitter anymore.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I guess they still call it a tweet, like the act. I mean, after over a decade of experience, I feel that's
yeah. Yeah, I saw a tweet. Somebody said like for everybody who wrote "Stay Cool" in my my high school yearbook, I have some devastating news.
I saw that too. I saw that as well.
Yeah, it made me laugh really hard. Just remind me of that. But yeah, this is yeah, like you said, it's the thing that they don't have in their description is like that pininess, the piney resinous in there.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just goes without saying with this style, but like the one thing that like it combines is like there's a balance to it, like a juice. There is a pine to it, and it's a style all its own. Like New England, like tapped into like this juice factor that like the dry American IPAs and West Coast IPAs just didn't have.
Yeah, it's like Vermont tasted this beer and they're like, how juicy can we go?
Yeah. A lot of like just dudes with cotton mouth out there just like man, I love an IPA, but it's killing me. What can I rip a bong on and drink immediately after? I need a juice factor too.
Yeah, man, it would be. I like this IPA, but it'd be a lot cooler if it was orange juice. But yeah, this is I mean, this is like an OG. This is like almost like I would say kind of along the lines of like a Sierra Nevada of the East Coast or like the Northeast.
Yeah, like East Coast Sierra Nevada. It's like drinking the lifeblood of Vermont here when you have Lawson's.
I mean, this is in like every beer distributor, every grocery store. Like this is just like a standard beer at this point.
Absolutely.
Which leads me into Dan, it's not in every beer distributor and grocery store because I had to search this out. And I think I've seen Lawson's in like every place I've ever gone. Anytime I go to look for beer at like a grocery store or a distributor, I feel like I always pass a Sip of Sunshine.
100%. I know exactly where it is at every place too, because I see it so much. So I went to one of our hyper local spots of not Limerick Bev. I feel bad. I
Town of the park.
Yeah, I went to Parktown, and I always know where it is because I see it when I walk in all the
Yeah.
time to the cooler because you got to keep this bad boy cold. And it's always in the same spot. And it's got that bright yellow like can, like that label right there just sticks out across a cooler when you're looking at beers.
It always reminds me of like a craft lemonade. Like you ever go like in
Like a twisted
Giant?
tea.
Yeah. No, I mean like if you go in like if you go to like say like Giant and you go in the organic section
The
and there's
Nature's
like
Market or whatever.
Nature's Promise, Dan.
Nature's
It's
Promise.
the promise made to us from nature. They always have like these like craft teas and like craft lemonades, and I look at like this can, I'm like, oh, it just reminds me of like the
Like a
craft lemonade.
kombucha.
Yeah. Even the name Sip of Sunshine, that's like what, like a lemonade kombucha would be. Sip of Sunshine.
I gotta say, when you look at the Lawson's website and you see their About Us section,
Yeah.
the top picture just screams kombucha.
Mm.
like you're seeing the staff and you're like, yeah, man, this is Vermont. This is kombucha country right here.
So I went to 3 locations. I went to 2 distributors and a Gigante.
Man,
And
you went to 2 distributors and no Lawson's.
no Lawson's.
And these are like ones that are usually like pretty well stocked with craft beer.
One is pretty well stocked. The other one is
Did you visit our friend Francis? Did you go
Yes,
to
I did.
You went to Francis?
Yeah, nothing going.
I want to talk to Francis.
And then I went to my hyper local one, which it's kind of shitty.
Is that the one in the Wawa?
No. This is the one that's it's right next to the car wash, Dan. Across from the cemetery.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Yeah, the beer station. Yeah, their craft section's just dog shit. It's a small spot and they're just packed with like macros.
Dude, that was the old Wawa.
Wasn't it an old Wawa?
It's an old ass Wawa, dude.
I don't remember that being a Wawa.
Dude, that was my first Wawa. I used to have this little old lady make me Italian hoagies in the early 90s there, man. Like that was the first Wawa in our area.
Okay. Now that you're saying that, I mean it does make sense. Like the look of it.
Look at it next time. You're gonna see it in Wawa glasses now.
So I go to the Giant and I was like, oh shit, like I'm gonna have to go and bum 2 cans from Dan.
Yeah.
It's not there. They had Little Sips. I think that's what it's called, Little Sips.
The session IPA, it's like a 12 pack too. You can't get a 6er of it.
Right. And so they had that, and then I was like just like looking around. The lady was like, do you need help with something? I was like, I felt like Ron what the hell's his name? Ron Swanson when he goes into Lowe's. He's like, I know more than you. But I was like, just trying to find Sip of Sunshine. And she was like, oh yeah, that's been really popular. We sold out really quick. But she's like, I got some single cans. And I was like, oh yeah, I was looking over in the single can section. And she was like, no, in the back, in the cooler back there with all the deucers.
Yeah, like 22 ounce and above, or like, I guess, well, technically 19 ounces and above.
Yeah. So I was like, oh boy, am I going to be drinking this out of a paper bag on the episode?
Would have been awesome. If
it would have been awesome. But I looked and lo and behold, there were 2 racks of stovepipes. And I was like, you know what? Kind of awesome. Kind of makes it a little bit better, especially like something to talk about on the podcast.
Yeah, yeah.
Stovepipe. Really wanted a 4-pack, but you know, we'll go with the stovepipe. So that's how I ended up with that.
It's crazy. I was just reading this. It's being brewed in Connecticut.
Oh man. That's like what's his name? Connecticut Dave. Have you seen those commercials?
No. What is this Connecticut Dave?
It's the political commercials for that. I don't know what he's running for. Dave McCormick.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So his opposition's
Oh,
like, oh,
yes.
Connecticut Dave.
They call. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
because he lives in Connecticut. And he just happens to have a house here. Connecticut.
Oh,
Send Dave back to Connecticut.
Yep. I've seen
Well,
these.
yeah. So sip of sunshine. Lawson's is now the Connecticut Dave of beers.
Yeah. I mean, the Lawson's finest tap room is still
Yeah,
in
it's still in
Vermont,
Vermont. Yeah.
but yeah, I guess they got a bigger facility in Connecticut, which is yeah. I guess that's what you got to do when you get this big, like Lawson's. I mean, these guys, they started, it looks like, I mean, they started in 2008 as homebrew, but it looks like in 2011, 7-barrel system. It's kind of what we work with at Rebel. So we have a 7-barrel system with multiple fermenters. So kind of in the same vein.
Yeah. So in 1990, Sean T. Lawson crafts his first homebrew as a student of University of Vermont in Burlington. His first brew was a maple wheat ale. Jesus, really on the head there, bud. Inspired by maple beers from Catamount Brewing and Vermont Pub and Brewery.
Wow. Yeah.
So then in 2000, okay, I mean, that has nothing to do with it. He met his wife. Good for you. Start a family. 2006, construction
Yeah.
began on the Warren brewery building next to Sean and Karen's home, with friends and family in a barn raising style weekend. Sean digs the foundation footing by hand, and over the next year and a half builds what is affectionately dubbed the Crooked Cabin.
Yeah.
Not unlike our old buddy Dave Mitchell.
Yeah, man. I felt so bad, and like I'm so shitty with text messages. I have to go back and reply to him about that. But yeah, and look at that coming right in at 2008. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's when the Lawson's name as a home brewer, they got official licensure for their brewery. It was a 1-barrel brew house installed in that was their house, and the first sales of bottles and draft at Mad River. They're anti-snowboard. Not a big fan of those guys.
2009 media coverage, exceptional word of mouth, accolades, and beer trading on beeradvocate.com helped drive fans from around New England to the Warren store in Vermont for Thursday morning deliveries of 22-ounce bottles. Man, to go back to when bottle shares were a thing.
Yeah. Thursday morning deliveries of 22-ounce bottles. Oh, look at that. Lawson's Finest receives the World Beer Cup bronze medal in the specialty ales for their maple triple ale.
Still just harping on that maple, huh, bud?
Yeah.
Warren Brewery expands to a 7-barrel brew house, results in increased distribution across Vermont. Lawson's Finest is named the national IPA champion for triple play IPA by Breaking News.
Damn. By Brewing News, yeah.
And in the biggest news, Lawson's Finest begins selling bottled beer at the Waitsfield and Montpelier farmers markets.
Dude, I bet Vermont has the best farmers markets.
They probably have some insane farmers markets.
It's like such a dad thing to say. I'm like, I bet they have really good farmers markets there.
They went from bronze to silver for the maple triple.
I just want to go back. If 20-year-old me said or heard me saying, I bet they have the best farmers markets, I'd get my ass kicked.
2014.
There it is.
Lawson's Finest commences the alternating proprietorship at Two Roads Brewing to brew Sip of Sunshine IPA and Super Session IPA, and expands distribution in Vermont and Connecticut. So Two Roads helped them out.
Yeah.
The Great American Beer Festival Specialty Ale Silver Medal is awarded for the Maple Triple Ale.
That
They're
maple
really
triple
hawking that maple triple, man.
Yeah, apparently this is what you need to get. It's 12%, man. I mean, I kind of want to go for it.
I wonder where we can find it. If we can find it anywhere. 2016, Lawson's Finest hires its first employee. Man, this is crazy that this is 2016. is when they hire their first.
Dude,
Lawson's.
It was
Go
just
ahead.
it was just family doing this all up
Mhm.
into for like that's 8 years. That's 8
On a
years.
7-barrel system, just
Yeah.
chugging along.
Hey man, we got 6 years on 7 barrel, so like man, they got 8 right here.
Lawson's Finest hires its first employee. Lawson's Finest is named again the national IPA champion in the session IPA division, this time for super session number 2. Lawson's Finest Maple Triple becomes a 3-time winner at the World Beer Cup with a silver medal in the specialty ale category. 2017, they expand to a total of 5 employees. The official groundbreaking ceremony with Governor Phil Scott and construction begins on the new location at Waitsfield, Vermont Brewery Tap Room and Retail Store. Ugh. Lawson's Finest expands distribution to all Massachusetts, Southern Maine, and Metro New York. Man,
Here 2018 is where it got busy though. This is where it gets crazy.
If you told me that we were drinking Lawson's Finest back in like 2012, I'd be like, yeah, obviously. It's 2018. This is this seems way too recent. I feel like Lawson's has been in distributors for 20 years.
Well, no, what you got to think, man, is like we were getting into craft beer in those like 20 like pretty heavy into 2017, 2018, 2019 prior to the pandemic. Like we were picking up speed and like it was because of these like I mean, they're different now, but like craft beer whales, like Lawson's. Lawson's was like a whale beer. That was when that hit like Kunda back in like the day when in like 2017, 2018, like it was like, holy shit, man, they got Lawson's here.
So in 2018, the long anticipated grand opening of our Waitsfield location is celebrated and our team grows to over 50 employees. Man, this was just a come up. Lawson's Finest debuts the Tap Room Sunshine Fund to support local community nonprofit organizations through our social impact program.
Sip. Nice.
Nice. On the head. Lawson's Finest is named Small Business of the Year by Central Vermont Economic Development Corporation and receives the Brewbound Rising Star Award. Distribution expands again to include New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Eastern Pennsylvania, and most of New York.
Yeah, but like prior to 2018, like getting those like sip of sunshines, man. Was
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, those random
yeah.
Yeah. Lawson's Finest begins distribution statewide in New Jersey and is now available across 9 northeastern states.
This is my favorite part right here.
They launch an Airbnb at the Warren Brewery location.
Oh,
becoming
dude,
the site
you can
of
stay at their old house.
Oh man. Of memorable experiences, including an engagement and several weddings. God, imagine being such a turd that you're like, I need to get married at Lawson's.
Dude, that's one of the most Vermont things you could probably do.
That is like, I've made craft beer my entire personality.
Do you think people in Vermont take like a handkerchief and put Lawson's under it and smash it like at a Jewish wedding?
Oh, mazel.
Like,
yeah.
Whoopa.
That's Greek, Dan.
I don't know.
Now you're racist.
I'm not racist.
Cancel.
I just feel like that's a Vermont thing.
Dan's like Jewish, Greek. It's all the same.
I didn't say that, Tom. Stop putting words in my mouth.
You insinuated it, Dan. Don't. I was going to say something, and it might be pretty offensive. Lawson's Finest owners, Karen and Sean, are named Mad River Valley Rotary Persons of the Year. They really love these. They really love these hyper local awards and really touting them.
Yeah, they were named the Vermont Persons of the Year in 2020.
Yeah, well, the Mad River Valley
by
Rotary
the small
Persons of the Year.
Yeah, no. Next, they get there. The 2020 just Vermont Persons of the Year.
Okay,
Scroll down to
that's. I mean that's bigger. Yes.
Yeah.
but this is like us saying like we were touted by the Pottstown Mercury honorable mention podcast that some people kind of like.
Well, Tom, we were also named the '1 podcast of what was it, food and beverage in Ghana
Yeah,
in
and
2021,
and
2022.
and Nigeria.
In Nigeria. I mean, we could have taken pictures, like scroll down to the blue, Tom.
Scroll down to the blue here.
Scroll down. We could have taken a picture like this holding a beer,
I
saying
mean, that
we
was the plan all
Yep.
along.
Yeah. Is that a trophy that has like a handle on each side?
That is, and that's beer in there.
Man, do you think they chugged it after that?
100%, but chugged it.
Yeah. Do you think
Probably.
they're just heavy, like still heavy beer drinkers?
Yeah.
They're like, all right, take this picture. All right, cool. You guys doing anything with this? Can we take our own?
Yeah. Lawson's finest pivots during the COVID pandemic, shifting their Waitsfield operations to focus on drive-through to go model, a seasonal outdoor beer garden, and celebrate strong retail packaged beer sales across 9 states.
They did. I bought myself some Sip of Sunshine in the pandemic.
Lawson 2021, Lawson's
Another local one.
yeah, receives
Vermont Business Magazine.
yeah, the Deanne C. Davis Outstanding Vermont Business Award from Vermont Business Magazine. Man, they love these local awards. Here we go again. University of Vermont Family Business Award in the First Generation Family Enterprise category.
All right.
Ooh, boy.
All right, Tom.
Here we go.
We've had a lot of history.
Dan, we're still going.
I see that.
The Vermont Best of Business Awards for Best Vermont Made Beverage and launches Little Sip in the Northeast.
How many colors are they going to go through here? So we're in purple. We're in purple now, guys. Don't worry, we're almost out.
All right, we've gone. Oh, all right. Well, we've pivoted a bit. They win silver for the World Beer Cup, and you want to think that it's the maple triple. It's not. It's a rum barrel aged Faiston maple imperial stout. Man, they can't get away from the maple in the wood and barrel aged.
Could you, as a Vermont citizen, what are Vermont citizens called, Tom?
Vermontiers.
Let's see, Vermont citizen
Vermontalians
name. Let's see.
They heard people call citizens of Atlanta ATLians. ATLians.
Yeah.
And they're like, we're the Vermontalians.
They're called Vermonters.
Oh, I was close.
Yeah. I like Vermontiers.
Yeah. It makes me think of the Rocketeer.
Yeah. And because of like Mount Pelier being the capital, so like the Vermontiers kind of ends the same.
Yeah, I like it. We're better at this than them, Dan. All right, 23 was an award-filled year. They were named 2023 Brewery of the Year by both Beer Connoisseur and Brewbound. Now we're getting out of the hyper local. Mad River Maple won silver in the World Beer Cup, and Maple Triple won a Good Food Award. Sure.
I think they're just making them up now.
Yeah, they really are. They're just slapping patches on themselves. All right, last thing. In 2023, they expanded its executive leadership team with the addition of CEO Adeline Druert. Adeline is the brewery's first hired CEO, coming from Vermont Creamery. This shift allows Sean and Karen to focus on the long-term vision of the company.
Oh man, they hand it over so they can the long-term vision being they're just gonna sling back IPAs at their house. They're like, you know what, Adeline, you got this. You killed it at the creamery. We're gonna go shotgun some Sip of Sunshines in our backyard.
Yeah, I mean the The Vermont Creamery won a ton of silver medals for their maple ice cream at the World Ice Cream competition.
The World Creamery Competition.
Yeah,
the, the old WCC.
yeah, yeah. Um, doubling down on double dry hopped.
I never got the double dry. Is there a double dry hopped one? Or is that
Is
just
there?
this one how it's going? But anyway, I mean, rich history there in Vermont. Lawson's.
Dan,
What?
hold on.
What do you got? What do you got?
I mean, it's very childish, and
Go on.
so I went to look at their where to buy section
Okay.
because I was like, where can we buy this maple triple ale, right?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I
like,
would.
man, there's no triple on here. You can't. Oh, it's not showing up on the. Damn it, Dan.
What?
It's not showing up on the share on the screen share. Not showing up on the screen share.
Oh.
So Dan, if you go to where to buy beer, you
Okay.
go to any product, and I'm like, man, there's a Mad River Maple, and under that is the Maple Nipple Ale.
What? It is called the Maple Nipple. Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if
Do you think that's you think it's like just a bad like
is it like an autocorrect or is it like a disgruntled employee?
yeah, hold on. See if I can get a screenshot of this. Yes. Hold on. I got a screenshot of it. Oh, no, never mind. It only got one. How do you get screenshot for one monitor? Oh, that's terrible. Anyway, yeah, Maple Nipple. If you guys are at Lawson's website and you go to where to buy, their Maple Triple Ale,
It's called the Maple Nipple Ale.
and it's nowhere near us. It won't even let me hit search.
No, it's nowhere near us. Not within 100 miles.
As I look at the website, can I confess one thing to you, Tom?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna confess that I want those fucking maple nipples, dude.
Yeah, I kind of. I want a Maple Triple Ale, Tom.
Maple nipples sound fantastic.
Tom. Late night with Tom. let's talk Maple Nipples, guys.
Tommy's getting ideas. I'm writing that down to my notebook, my scratch pad.
Damn, the first leaves fall and he goes, wonder what Maple Nipples would be like.
I have officially fallen for fall, Dan.
You've fallen pretty deep.
I have really fallen for fall.
But I want to confess to you, Tom, I've had Sip of
Please.
Sunshine. It's been one of my favorite beers. I've never had Little Sip.
No, I think Sip of Sunshine is the only Lawson's I've had.
I've had make sure I have the right name for it, but their Pilsner is in here. Let's see, Scrag Mountain Pills. Yes,
you said, yeah, I remember you saying if I can find that, grab it.
Dude, it is a Czech style Pilsner. It's got a beautiful, like noble kind of dry hop on it, but like it holds this kind of like Lawson's vibe to it because you're into like the piney and like not so much piney, but you're into hop presence. Hop presence is a key definition, I think, of Lawson's beers, particularly with their IPAs. And that's what you get with Scrag Mountain Pills is you get this hop presence, but this noble hop presence.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, you described it and it's definitely something like I would really like to get into. If I could find it, sure.
Yeah. Beautiful beer. 4.8%. Like you can't beat it.
Dan, if we're talking about Lawson's and their how Vermont they actually are.
Yeah.
Bang. Lawson's Finest proudly announces, and this is last year, almost a year ago. They have
Yeah.
achieved 100% solar powered beer.
What's crazy is like this is still all, and we just talked about how hyper recent Lawson's was to us in our
Mhm.
craft beer journey, but like this just started in 2019, and they're finally like with the ultimate goal of being 100% like solar power, and they've just finished in 2024.
They just finished.
Yeah, like it feels crazy how like it feels like 2019 was like just last year. Like, because the pandemic, like,
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
it's like a
It's
time
sped up
skip
time.
almost.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
so when CERN opened up the time rift,
Oh,
when
okay.
they went, yeah, so they had the Boggs Higgs, the God particle. When they
Yes, yes,
achieved
yes.
that, it opened up the rift in the time part. Time is accelerated now, Dan. I don't know if you know this, but it also explains the Mandela effect becoming more prominent. We've split into multiple universes.
So, Tom, are you upset that RFK isn't running?
I am pretty upset that RFK is running.
You've got the vibe of an RFK guy right now with that explanation. I'm like, man, there's a brainworm over there.
How do you explain that 2019 feels like 2 weeks ago?
Dude, it's crazy. I get it, man. Like, I think about it a lot, but I mean, it feels like it was long
And
ago, but it feels
it's
like
the
just yesterday to us.
it's the Berenstein Bears. It was always the Berenstein Bears.
Sinbad had a genie movie. Shazam.
Yep. We all know it. We all know it. We've just
Oh
shifted
man.
universes.
Just cracked freestyle, their West Coast IPA. Andy Man.
Ooh.
Let's see. Freestyle? I don't know if I'm familiar with freestyle.
I am not.
Oh, there it is. Okay, let's look at that. I'm checking out freestyle. An ode to experimentation, early days of Lawson's. A light, approachable IPA with some soft bitterness featuring Talus hops. Ooh, look at that.
All right. I mean,
Oh, this was brewed by their new CEO, too.
really
Yeah,
brewed by the creamery chick.
yeah, creamery.
Sure.
This is creamery gal getting
All
in
right.
there.
Okay. Well, let's Dan, I got a few things, and I mean, if this is a representation of like what kind of IPA they brew, the West Coast, if they're gonna like narrow in on a West Coast style, they have to nail it.
Yeah, they ace it.
Yeah.
No, 10 out of 10. No notes.
Dylan said, shame it's not a cream ale.
I know. Yeah, the creamer. Yeah, you get the creamery girl and you don't do a cream ale. You're doing a disservice.
Can imagine that they did a pretty solid fest beer.
Absolutely. I mean, they do one of the best IPAs I've ever had. I can understand they probably have a very good fest beer. Their Czech Pilsner was amazing. So
Yeah.
they definitely know what they're doing. Tom, in the interest of time, I think we have to briefly kind of go through just Vermont as a state.
Yeah, and let's
So
go.
we can cover our unofficial sponsor
Yeah,
in this part.
real quick. Let's go through craft breweries in Vermont. So, just to give you an idea of how hard this actual decision on a beer for the episode was.
The list is thick.
Yeah. So this is a list of all of the craft breweries. I'm going to skip through. But you have Alchemist, Bent Hill, Burlington Beer,
Yes, sir.
Farm Road, Foam, Fiddlehead
Yeah,
Brewing.
Fiddlehead was another one that I would say Yeah, at ski resorts in Vermont. It's like Lawson's, Fiddlehead, and
Yeah.
Alchemist.
Frost, Harpoon,
Yeah, Harpoon.
headquartered in Boston, but their largest plant is in Windsor, Vermont.
Look at that.
Obviously Hill Farmstead, they're like the Troon of Vermont, like the hypest brewery.
Yeah, they're big on the saisons.
I've never heard of this one, Dan, but if this place was near us, I feel like it would be one that we would frequent a lot.
Go on.
The House of Fermentology.
Ooh, I would. Yeah, the House of Fermentology. I would have to
Yeah.
dress like Ben Franklin when I go there. This
Yeah,
is the House of Fermentology.
We have
I would-
Lawson's, obviously. Long Trail's another one.
Long Trail, Vermont
Yeah.
IPA. When like the
Mhm.
haze craze initially started, was one of the best hazy IPAs to come out of New England. Long Trail's Vermont IPA, so good. If you ever find it, they still make it. It's delicious.
Queen City. Don't have too much on the back end here. Upper Pass.
Yeah, I mean, we've already covered a significant amount of breweries that people would have
Yeah.
probably said like, "Oh, I could see you guys doing a foam episode or
Yeah.
a Burlington beer episode,
Von Trapp. We've done
Von Trapp, Frost Beer Works and stuff like
Zero
that."
Gravity.
Yeah, I mean, Conehead is right next to Lawson's. Like, if you've had a Conehead, Zero Gravity's Oktoberfest, pretty fucking good too.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge. I mean, it's a huge state, and it's a small state with a huge footprint in Lost Nation too.
Yeah, it just in craft beer, like they were,
Mhm.
it's big.
All right, so let's go through some fun facts about the state.
Yeah, we won't go too much in the founding. We're just we'll cover the
Yeah.
state, capital, state,
Yeah,
fish, whatever.
thanks to our unofficial sponsor, Nat Geo Kids.
I'd love to get Nat Geo Kids as a sponsor for Drinking
and,
Across All Glory.
God damn,
Nothing that screams, hey, you guys want to drink beer and talk about states?
Dan, if you didn't know, Killington, Vermont's a beautiful spot.
Dylan, I'm very familiar.
The nickname for Vermont is the Green Mountain State. They were the 14th state, acquired statehood in 1791. Population as of 2016 is just shy of 625,000. Capital is Montpelier. Biggest city is Burlington. The state bird is the hermit thrush, which seems like an STD name.
Yeah, got some hermit thrush.
Yeah, man, I got a real bad case of the hermit thrush.
Yeah,
It's like
I hooked up with this girl last night. I think she gave me a hermit thrush.
Yeah, it seems like that's something you get at what the hell's that club in Ocean City, Maryland?
Secrets.
Yeah, Secrets. That's what you get
Yeah.
at Secrets, and
So
you get
you get
hermit. Yeah, I got hermit thrush at Secrets in Ocean City, Maryland.
you get hermit thrush from a wrestling mat if you if you don't clean them. Dude.
Yeah, I got a real bad case of hermit thrush from the OD in Sea Isle.
Oh man, the state animal, a pretty it's an imported animal. It's the Morgan horse.
All right, sure.
Like the horses weren't native to this.
I mean,
this wasn't an imported national or state animal.
Vermont is the horse girl of states.
Yeah. Oh, horse girls moved to Vermont. That's that's their second slogan, the horse girl state.
Yeah. State flowers, the red clover. Why is it called Vermont? Vermont comes from two French words, vert, which means green, and mont, which means mountain. That's why they're called the Green Mountain State. And the nickname honors the Green Mountain Boys.
Yeah. Nathaniel. What's his name? Who was the Green Mountain Boys general?
I have no idea.
I know it.
An army
Green.
first created to protect Vermont's land from New York, and which was later reconstituted.
Ethan Allen. Shit, it was Ethan Allen led the Green Mountain Boys.
like the
Yeah, that's where the name came from, man.
like the furniture company,
Or like the clothing company, Ethan Allen. Like,
is that clothing? I thought that was I thought that was I thought it was furniture. Yeah, it's
No.
custom furniture.
Well,
Ethan Allen. Custom
Ethan Al-
furniture.
oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, custom furniture.
I thought it was like a clothing company too. Or home decor.
Yeah, there you go. They were reconstituted to serve the American Revolution, Civil War, and Spanish American War. Wow. Green Mountain Boys just repping through time.
Yeah, apparently it was just a very it was very like, I don't know. They were like a militarized like area.
Which is crazy because it's like it's maybe one of the softest states.
It's pretty liberal now. And
It's pretty
I
soft.
mean, it's soft, but man, you don't mind it. You're just like, you know what? You be you,
No.
Vermont.
Yeah, no. I mean, yeah, it's not, but it's pretty soft. Pretty soft.
Like that maple syrup though.
Yeah. Yeah, you gotta love the maple syrup.
Them Vermonters might be liberal, but I like them.
Black bears, moose, white-tailed deer, red foxes, fishers, and martens are among Vermont's mammals. Barred owls, ospreys, peregrine falcons, ruffed grouse, American robins, and eastern bluebirds. They're a very northeastern animal.
Rough grouse is our state bird, so
yeah. Oh, you got mud puppies, a kind of salamander.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this up the way that we wrap up every.
Yeah, we would be remiss if we didn't cover a state without going into a little spooky territory and talk about the cryptids. Brought to you by our friend Stabby Pod, Greg over at Stabby Podcast or Stabby Podcast. Check them out at Stabby Pod is their Instagram. And dude, they just wrapped up October, Sellout October, which is when they do like. Yeah, they do a lot of the sellout horror movies for October. And I mean, they did Final Destination. They did they did the first Terrifier. A lot of good episodes of Sellout October. So go check it out.
Yeah, we discussed that in our episode with Greg. Go back and watch that in our Pennsylvania episode, Squonktoberfest.
Squonktoberfest. Man, I'll never forget. We have to do Squonktoberfest every year.
I think that's a thing now.
Yeah.
One of the more ridiculous cryptids, the Wampahoofus, is the Vermont variation of the side hill gouger.
So
it's good.
off the bat, hold on. One of the more ridiculous. We've had a lot of ridiculous cryptids.
Yeah.
And for him to start this off with one of the more ridiculous, like, Greg, you've done I mean, this is your 14th one.
Yeah. And this is the most ridiculous.
You're going to point this one out as one of the most ridiculous.
You showed us the casting couch. How is it going to get more ridiculous?
Yeah, that's a crazy start to this one.
Let's go.
The Wampahoofus is the Vermont variation of the side hill gouger. These creatures have adapted to living on hillsides by having legs on one side of their body shorter than the legs on the opposite side, allowing them to more easily graze.
Yeah, it's a goat. It's a mountain goat. It's a mountain goat that's evolved in a weird way. It's a mountain goat.
It's the production of two mountain goats that may have been related.
Yeah.
On steep hillsides. This is a serious disadvantage when it comes to turning around, as it can only walk in one direction.
Oh,
If
look
a
at that.
clockwise Wampahoofus comes face to face with a counterclockwise Wampahoofus, they will have to fight to the death, with the winner continuing on its required direction. If a clockwise Wampahoofus gives birth to a counterclockwise child,
Dude,
So he wasn't
so when a
wrong.
clockwise Wampa
He wasn't wrong. This is, oh my god. At the
this
at
is
the
the most
behest of-
ridiculous.
at the behest of maybe getting canceled. This is fucking retarded, dude. Like how do we choose this one?
Hit the music, Tom. Hit the music.
Cancel. I mean, it's a goat. It's just mountain goats.
But
And people
but
are just looking
there's
at it from a wrong perspective. Like it's just goats.
it's just goats that like they're just standing on the hill, which makes
Yeah.
it look like one
Yeah.
leg shorter than the other.
Yeah,
But
and
the
they're
fact
not.
that they characterized them as two different genus there, they're like
Yeah.
there's a clockwise and a counterclockwise. That's like there's a gray squirrel and a black squirrel.
Oh my god. They're so dumb. Like whoever came up with this and was like, it's a cryptid. Like it's dumb.
Yeah,
Watch mountain goats fight over. They're territorial.
the guy who discovered this definitely listens to fish.
I think the guy who founded this might have one leg shorter than the other. If you know
He
what I
might.
mean.
it will leave the child to die because it cannot keep it safe. The only way for a Wampahoofus
Greg couldn't even get through that part without laughing. He got a little giggle in there.
because it cannot keep it safe. The only way for a Wampahoofus to move to another area is for two of them to cling to each other in a way that's compared to a pair of drunks going home from town with their longer legs on the outer sides. And I'm pretty sure we've all been there.
Oh man.
Oh man, we got some really good
Phoenixville stroll.
Burlington and Wampahoofuses right there.
Yeah, that's the old Phoenixville stroll.
Yeah, we've seen those before.
Doofus is trying to make it up the gay bridge.
Tom, I think you and I are two opposite Wampahoofuses when we go out to Phoenixville.
That's he ain't wrong, Dan. This is the dumbest. I didn't think we would get here.
When he said ridiculous, I'm like, okay, like he's done
Yeah.
some pretty ridiculous in a good way ones. This was just ridiculous and like it's pretty stupid.
Yeah, this is the worst one. So
This is the dumbest. This is the.
it was mountain goats. The crib is mountain goats. What was the one with there was a stray cat? There was one where it was like a stray cat.
Wasn't one just like a stray dog? It was just like it was like the rail yard dog. I was like, it's a dog that lives in the rail yard.
Yeah, there was one that was like it was just a mean stray cat. I think it was Maryland.
Yes,
This is an angry
it was.
stray cat, and they were like, "Oh, it's from the devil."
And this cryptid Clancy,
Yeah,
the mean stray cat of West
Yeah,
43rd Street.
yeah, Bojangles.
Yeah, Bojangles. He hated kibble.
Loved lasagna, hated
Yeah.
Mondays. Yeah, I mean god damn, this sucked. It's just goats. It's mountain goats. Oh my god, people
And
before the internet, people had way too much time on their hands.
too much imagination.
Yeah.
But I gotta hand to Greg at Stabby for finding
Yeah.
just the wackiest. And
Brings us endless entertainment.
yeah, and make sure you're following Stabby Pod on Instagram because he did make the announcement. He is doing on their Patreon a cryptid corner where he's gonna be selling cryptids to not selling, but selling the idea of these cryptids to his co-hosts of Stabby Pod. So,
I thought you were going to say he was going to start like a one of those like crypto Ponzi schemes where he's going to start selling cryptids on the black market. Like,
yeah, that was like black market cryptids.
yeah, I've got this cryptid. The price is really high.
No, yeah, from what he sounds like, he's going to be like selling the idea to his his co-hosts. Like it's going to be like Greg's cryptid like corner or something, but like the artwork's awesome. Check it out on Stabby Pod, but it's like him sitting around a fire, like telling a story about a cryptid to like everyone
I know
else.
two guys who would be great for that.
All right, spill it. Who?
The two guys have broken down 14 of his fucking cryptids, Dan.
You know what? If we can get some Patreon residuals, we'd be in. Now, you know what? We don't. We'll
No.
accept. We'll for
Yeah.
free
Oh, no,
99.
fine.
For
If I could,
free for free 99, we'll go on there.
yeah, for a half hour of just breaking down these stupid cryptids.
Yeah, find us a good one.
Yeah.
Find us a good one, Greg. We'll go on and have some fun.
Yeah. But yeah, check out Stabby Pod. Yeah, we're wrapping it up with the fucking mountain goats.
Mountain goats.
Okay.
Okay,
all right, everybody.
so I have to say, like, I couldn't find anything else to say why Vermont sucked, but cryptids.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, god damn, they're a hippie state. That kind of sucks.
But I like them. They're that hippie you like, man. They're the hippie that you were just like, man, that guy fucking rules.
I mean, it's touch and go. They're
that Vermont guy comes in clutch situations.
They're very Birkenstock laden state.
Man, I have too much fun in Vermont. I have a very different view.
Oh, I mean, they're very. I mean, they've done a lot more good than bad, but they're very liberal. Liberal to a fault at some points, but hey, they've given us good beer, they've given us good ice cream, they've given us good vibes.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can't talk about Vermont without just the vibes. There's always good vibes. I don't know, like, I know you don't frequent Vermont as much, but like anytime I've been up in Vermont, it's been just like good vibes. But I'm always on a mountain. I'm always snowboarding, and it's like it's that surfer aspect. It's always good vibes, bro.
Yeah. So next week we will we'll figure out an episode. I don't think we'll initially like hop into.
I think we'll need to recover after we're like, hey, let's get back out on the road. We're like, no, we shouldn't have done. We're like that old band that probably should have stopped touring. We're like, we're gonna do one more, guys, and we're like, shit, man, I don't know if we can do this again.
I mean, there's still a couple states out there that we can do really well. The next two states are very we might switch to a bourbon podcast.
Oh, we heading towards the bourbon trail now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we are what, Kentucky and Tennessee? We got
Yep.
Ooh.
15, 16, Kentucky, Tennessee. We might be sipping some bourbon, Dan.
You know what, Tom? I don't mind it. We just sat on 8% beer this whole time. So
I mean, a little wrinkle in the old podcast. It could use it. 236 episodes. Could use a little change up here. A little switch the dial a little bit.
We could dial it back to a little, little whiskey, a little lighter.
Whiskey. I don't know. We'll talk about it. We might be back with a what you drinking. We might be back with a brewer. Who knows? Stay tuned. Stay tuned
on where the podcast is going to go. We have way too many bits, including a bit in the comments to keep track of them.
You guys know as much as we do.
Exactly. We'll if you guys want, we'll throw in the group chat on Sunday when Tom and I go, so what the hell are we doing tomorrow, man?
Yeah. Let's wrap this thing up, guys. Thank you for sticking around. We always appreciate you. This has been the Best Friends podcast, episode 236.
Oh, we out.
See. All right. Recording is done.
Oh yeah. Bye, recording.
All right.
I just let my last sip of sunshine.
Oh, I've been done that. So we got the bourbon trail.
Nice. I'm looking forward to a little change up. A little bourbon would be
bourbon would be nice to do back to backs with like not even back to backs, but like like back to back states, like switch it up, like do a Kentucky episode, hit a little little bourbon, little Kentucky bourbon, and then take a couple episodes and then do a Tennessee bourbon.
Yeah. I mean, we also got some interesting breweries from Tennessee too that I think we can get around here. So
I'm looking at Kentucky right now because that's the 14th state. Atrium is the one that's standing out to me.
yeah.
But I don't know, Ed, can we get Atrium around here?
I don't know
I
if we
know the
can,
name,
but
but
I don't know if we can, but I
Oh,
feel
you
like
know what? I know the we might have to do a beer for Kentucky, Dan.
what?
3 words. Against the grain.
Oh shit.
Some of the
Sit your
best
ass down.
Some of the best label art in the game.
Sit your ass down.
Yeah. I haven't seen it in a while, but I'm sure we can find it somewhere.
Yeah, we got that.
Against the grain might be one that we have to feature. And then we go bourbon for Tennessee, or what are you thinking for Tennessee?
Well, for Tennessee, we what were the breweries that we were talking about with Mule? We'll have to follow up with him. There's ones you can get around here. It's a brewery that he turned us on to. But I wouldn't be opposed to doing a bourbon zone. So I mean, if we do against the grain for Kentucky, let's do a bourbon episode or let's do a bourbon episode for Tennessee then.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm
I
for
like
that.
that. I think Tennessee is more known for bourbon than Kentucky.
Yeah.
The 10 best Tennessee breweries. Tennessee Brewing Works, Gatlin Brewing, E Hall Brewing, Naked River, Calf Killer. Sure.
You
Calf Killer.
you calf
Mayday.
killer.
Yeah, Mayday. Southern Grist.
That's the one. Southern Grist was the one
Yeah.
I was thinking about.
And Bearded Iris. I feel like
Yep.
I've heard of.
Those were the other ones. That it was those
Yeah.
two.
Yeah, everyone's saying Southern Grist and Bearded Iris are the 2 best. Okay. All right, Dan. We can do Johnson City. A lot of jokes there.
Yeah.
A lot of jokes in Johnson City. All right. Well, I am gonna pee my pants, and I just drank 19 ounces of an 8% beer. So I'm gonna pee myself and pass out, and then go vote in the morning. You voting, Dan?
Yeah, I'm gonna go on my my lunch break. I'll head over there, do my civic duty. It's a block away from my house. I'm just gonna walk over.
Yeah. We get like an hour in the beginning of the day. I'm just gonna go over in the morning, do the old voting, and should be a shit show tomorrow night. Either way, no matter who wins, it's gonna be a disaster. So
get your beers ready, man.
Yeah, I'm
gonna go watch Civil War on your Plex. Just get ready for it.
Man, I put it on there. I put it on there, and I was like, man, I want to watch it. I really do.
But I don't want to get bummed out.
I've seen
frightened for the future.
I've seen like the scene with Fat Matt Damon.
Fat Damon.
Yeah, Fat Damon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's a shitty movie. But might be something worth watching.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right. I'll probably just watch the new Garfield movie tomorrow night.
Oh yeah, I'm getting on the Penguin tonight, so I gotta watch. Gotta keep going.
Yeah, I'm caught up to the newest episode.
Yep.
I need to watch the newest episode.
That's what I got going on, so I gotta do that.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Yeah. All right. Well, let's get out of here, Dan. Thanks everybody for sticking around. What the fuck is this? Your father and I are now in a relationship, and I think it's time for you to start treating me the respect I deserve, said the dog from the front seat of the car.
It's pretty loaded. I don't get it. But
Yeah. Ben, I have no idea what you're talking about, but I'm glad you're having fun, buddy. All right. We're going to get out of here. Thanks, guys. We'll see you next week.
see you.